Oops.
We were already live.
It says live now. So we're gonna roll with it.
We're gonna do
now.
it.
Okay.
Welcome to the Lift Heavy Run Long podcast, episode number 211. You can find us at www.liftheavyrunlong.com, on Twitter and Instagram at liftrunlong. Also, feel free to email me directly at the address wilson@liftheavyrunlong.com. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel and leave us a 5-star review on iTunes. If you are not a member of our Facebook group, you should be, because we want you to be there. Search for Lift Heavy Run Long Community and request to join right now. My name is Wilson Horrell. I am one of your hosts. I'd like to remind you that the Lift Heavy Run Long podcast is not censored, so listen at your own risk. I have sitting to my right, who was not with us 2 weeks ago, but is with us now, which is why I'm significantly happier and an overall better person, the amazing Dr. Amanda Kimsey Horrell, jacked and tan.
What's up?
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
That is a fine-looking Team Hope shirt that you have on.
Thank you. Thank you.
It looks nice. It complements your muscles and your tan. You know how much I like red.
Yeah, that's
Go
true.
Red Devils.
Yeah.
Go Team Hope.
Everybody at the gym wore red this afternoon. It was really weird.
They did. Good
Yeah.
for them.
We all had red on.
They should do that more often. The Reverend.
The opposite of that, I wear black.
Black is cool.
So.
Black looks good with the tan. And your glasses and your headset.
Yeah.
Man.
It looked like you dressed for this.
Looks like you bought a new pair of UFOs.
I did. After I told
You didn't threaten that guy and go get him?
I just went and bought a brand new pair.
Fling them dogs up here. I
And
can't see.
We'll just let that guy look. See, so
Oh, yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't know how to do it.
It's better sometimes just to forego the ass whooping
Vanna
and buy
White,
a
he is
different
not.
pair.
No, I'm not. I could stand on the table or whatever, but
The black looks good. Black's a good color.
well, I work from home, and I have like meetings a lot, and so my thought was a lot of people wear whatever, but I could put on a collared shirt every day, and sometimes I do, but my go-to is just put on a black T-shirt.
Yeah.
And
At least it looks respectable.
It looks, it doesn't. It's like in between, kind of like, it's not slumming it
Right.
from a video perspective,
Yeah.
but it's also not.
But it's not like an NXS cut-off T-shirt or something
Yeah.
like
Yeah. Yeah.
that. Sleeveless shirt.
You're presentable, ready for work. You may or may not have a beer right outside the camera
Yeah.
screen.
Right.
That works.
Yeah.
So-
at 8:30 in the morning.
So what's the Oklahoma thing? Is that training or what is that you're doing?
That's work.
I went. Yeah. I've been 2 weeks so far. So the first week I went was the second week after I got hired, because I told my boss I wanted to go so that I could meet everyone and see what
Okay.
everything was like. And
Gotcha.
then, though this past week I went was an event, the whole week event where everybody that worked for the company came to Oklahoma City and stayed there.
So you don't have to do
And
that
we
once
had-
a month.
I didn't know if you were
No.
going to like every month or something. to
Once
do
a
that, yeah.
quarter. Maybe if there's an important meeting or something I need to go to, I might go. But
I tell you what, I'd drive to Oklahoma once a month if they'd give me a badass picture like they gave you.
Yeah.
yeah,
That's on fire, man.
I would totally go once a month and would have no problem with it.
Was that
it's,
Let me do this. Big Thirsty.
Hey, buddy.
How we doing?
I'm good. You didn't have to throw it to me. I
I
appreciate
got to
it,
do
though.
it. I got to get it out
appreciate
of the way.
though.
All good?
I'm good.
I'm going to circle back to you.
Okay.
I'm coming back. Be ready.
I like the focus being on Vaughn.
All right. So is that, did they, I'm assuming they had a photographer there to do just that?
Absolutely, but it's our photographer. So this is a very big advertising, marketing, PR firm that I work for.
in-house.
So we have, our own. And that room that I was in was at the library, like one of our rooms
Yeah.
in our office.
So you can get the world is mine pick on the regs.
I could.
That
Yeah.
that pick should be the reason why companies hire that agency, because if they can make Vaughn look that good,
That's
then
right.
imagine
Amen.
what they can do for your company.
I'm telling you, it makes a difference. I mean, if somebody sees that, it makes a difference all the way around. That's a
that
outstanding
seriously was a
looking
solid
picture.
pick.
I thought it was pretty cool.
And if you try to do that and you have a crappy photographer, you look like total douche level 9,000.
Well, yeah, that was one out of like 160.
Well, that's what
You
makes
know
a
what I mean?
professional
Like
photographer
he's like
is a lot
lean
of
over
shots.
on your, put your elbow on your thing and do this on your chin, and then sit. How about you sit in these chairs? What if you stand up on this table and
Yeah.
you know,
Take your shirt off.
do this? It didn't go that far.
We're making a calendar.
If
Show me what you look like.
you really want this job, here's what
That's
you need to do.
So I'm turning this in to all the producers.
So yeah, I mean it was pretty cool. So
That's awesome. Did you get to pick the pick? Did you get all
Yeah,
access to
well,
all? Do you have access to all those pictures?
yeah, he gave me 200 pictures and told me to pick. There was a white background headshot for the website, and then there was that one that I put that I thought was cool.
We got
And
room
so-
for a life-size cardboard right
Yeah.
there on the studio.
And so he said pick one of each, and so I picked one of each. So,
Very nice.
but yes, I do have access to them. I can use whenever I want, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
I'm glad you guys are here. I had a horrible day today. No, I didn't have a horrible day. I had a horrible moment in my day. I had a job interview today that I was super excited
Really?
for. I had 4 interviews lined up.
What?
I had 2 with the same company last week, and then they lined me up with 3 hours worth today.
Jeez.
What?
And everything was good. And then they asked me, I had a coding challenge with 2 guys on the other end. You would thought that I had never turned on a computer before in my life.
Yeah.
It was awful. It was awful. There has not been a bigger botch since Bill Buckner in the 86 World Series.
I am very much against coding challenges, like
For job interviews.
for job
I totally
interviews.
agree with that. Yeah.
Like there's a lot of different ways that you can handle that without like prove to me you can write some code right here in the moment.
I'll tell you
Because-
I'll tell you exactly how you handle it, which is how when I got my job at Inferno, the last agency I worked for, the challenge was, hey, here's a document of requirements, a project I want you to do. You've got 4 days to do it.
Amen.
Do it
Yes.
and send it back to me.
Yes.
Because if you do on demand, like, okay, I want to watch you do this, I mean, 95% of the people are not going to.
Do you think that many? The people were so gracious as they're doing it. One of the guys even said these things suck, and while they were doing it, they were just like they said, at least you're hanging in there. A lot of people just quit. After
a lot of
couple
people
minutes.
just like,
Well, that's probably
bad
what you-
internet connection.
It was. I almost felt like just crying and saying, you know what? It's
Did you hang
Appreciate
up
it. I
and
hate
go,
that
I
for you.
can't do this?
no. I stuck with it, and
Well, that's probably you probably passed.
as I'm doing it, I'm,
You know,
I'm
like-
telling them, I'm just embarrassed. This is the way that I would go about, and I'm telling them the way I would go about it.
And that's
I'm just not putting it together. well.
People want to hear what you're thinking in your head. I
Yeah.
think.
I wasn't even doing good at that. But
That's it.
I finished the I came back, circled back to him, sent him, here's it solved, this way, blah, blah. But it was already too late. My 4th interview guy didn't even show up.
What do you mean it was too late?
I mean, I just feel like that by then they were like, this ain't going to work. I had another interview scheduled the next guy showed up. He was right behind that. So I did the interview with him. He was great. And then I had an interview scheduled for 30 minutes later, and the guy didn't even show up.
I mean, that's probably, he was probably.
Hopefully that's unrelated, but
Yeah.
like that's hearing you talk through like how you would solve the problem is what I would want to hear. I'd want to hear the logic behind it.
I agree.
I did a
you
really
know-
bad job of that, too.
Okay, so
Well-
Dr. Death did a really good job explaining what he was going to do with his patients, but then I'm kidding.
Yeah, right.
But then
They
his
just couldn't
execution
actually
was
execute
terrible.
on it.
Yeah.
Right.
Just kidding. I'm being devil's advocate.
Dr.
no.
Death would have deserved the job before I got it.
I think that, putting you on the spot like that, I mean, I'm totally in a different realm. It's all
Yeah,
y'all's world,
I
not
don't-
mine. I don't see that being, I don't know. I just don't see that being a very
I-
fair game. But
Yeah, I
that's
don't know
just
what
me.
the company is, but like I don't think you want to work there anyway. If the thing is you do this on demand.
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't go that far, but
I mean,
I just think
maybe not the company, but you don't want to work for that guy, whoever the guy is. That's like, oh yeah, I need this.
I
guy
just
to-
want to do a better job on my interviews. Is what I want to do. I mean,
Well, the more interviews you do, the better you're going to get.
Yeah,
that's true, too.
That was just disappointing on every level. But whatever. We're all here now. Life is good. I have a joke. Can I tell the joke that you told me, please?
What joke did I tell you?
About the genie?
in a bottle.
Let me tell the genie. Well, he is.
I don't
in a
even
bottle.
remember the joke I told him.
Correct.
That's pretty
Okay,
bad.
well, I'll tell you. I'll tell the joke. All right, so this guy, he walks into a bar, and he's carrying this box, and this box is like maybe a foot tall, a couple feet
I
wide.
already know the joke. Is the great the pianist?
So, did you know the joke?
I don't.
So the guy walks in the bar. He's got this box, and he tells the bartender, he said, "Hey, man, if I show you something just unbelievably wild, will you give me all the drinks I can handle for tonight?" And he's like, "It's got to be good." But, yeah. And he opens this box, and there's this guy in there, and he's playing the piano, like Billy Joel songs, and he's singing. And the bartender's like, "That's crazy, man. I mean, in a 1 foot box." And he said, "I'll give you all the drinks you can handle, but you got to tell me where you got this guy." And he said, "All right, well, there's a genie in the alley, and he's granting everybody one free wish. So, if you can get in touch with him." Then bartender says, "All right, well, you stay here, enjoy your drink. I'll be back in 10 minutes. I'm going to run find this guy." So about 5 minutes later, he hears all these ducks quacking, like millions of ducks quacking. And the bartender comes in and goes, "Man, I asked that guy for $1 million, and you never believe what he produced. I don't think that guy can hear so well." And that other dude goes, "No shit, you think I asked for a 12-inch pianist?" I think that's the greatest joke.
I read that on Reddit the other day, but it was like they drew it out like it was like the longest joke you've ever read. And there was like it was over and over, like all these people.
Coming from Amanda, I just died.
I
I
came-
died.
I
12-inch
totally forgot
pianist.
I had that the other day.
But the genie was in the bathroom, so the guys would go in the bathroom and make a wish and come back out. And they'd have like these stupid things.
Was there multiple wishes with multiple messed up?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
That's fine.
I'm so funny. And I'm so funny even after Amanda's funny. I'm secondarily funny. How is that?
That was pretty good.
Yeah, I'm good.
It's a pretty good joke.
That and I have to say, I like it coming from you because as the you're not usually an off-color joke kind of guy. So
Yeah.
so to hear you tell a joke like that,
If you say
Makes
so
me
I'm
that-
an
makes me
off-color
that much-
joke
right,
kind of
but
person.
Amanda's just naturally
Come on
dirty.
now.
I think Amanda's dirtier than you
You
are.
for sure. She's
We're
she's
both-
borderline trashy.
we both have to just look at each other
I know.
whenever there's a "that's what she said" moment.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and we
I
can't
think
say it out loud
I
anymore.
think these
so.
two are way dirtier than we are.
When
Like, if we put a
without question,
Yeah, we just have
scale
to we just look at each other like,
when Amanda's not at church singing in the choir playing the handbells, she's
That's why she
in
has
the
to do all
gutter.
those things.
That's right.
Because
to
of
wash the sins away.
Yeah,
That's right.
sometimes they can just be downright embarrassing.
It's full bore over here, and Vaughn and I are looking at each other appalled.
I love how Vaughn's throwing himself in with you over
Rude.
there.
Vaughn and I are over here blushing.
Yeah, I'm ashamed of my behavior, just being associated with
Yeah.
people.
Yep. Yep.
Anyways,
People write me all the time on the podcast asking if I'm comfortable being around y'all.
Do we get reviews anymore?
No, nobody.
Does anyone listen?
Nobody
to this
listens.
podcast
No,
anymore?
no, we're out of the
Yeah,
ranks
what?
everywhere.
Guess what though, y'all? So I have an ER doctor that I walked into the office the other day to say something, and he had our podcast on YouTube pulled up watching it.
Which
What?
is pretty cool.
He's like, "I found you guys," and he was watching
hilarious.
old interviews with people.
very cool.
Yeah.
Do you remember when we were like, we got as high as 26th in the world,
We got pretty high up there.
and now we're out of Iceland.
Now we're like the lowest
We're
podcast
nobody.
in the world.
Weren't we like
should do
number
those
one in like
analytics.
And in multiple places. I mean,
Ethiopia,
like,
we were
places
number
that
one.
sub-Saharan Africa
that don't even have
nations.
internet or cell phones.
Exactly.
Ethiopia.
That's right.
We were number one in Ethiopia.
Because Vaughn created a node and put us there.
Yeah. and made a bunch of reviews over different VPNs.
So somebody send us a review. If you've ever sent us a review, you can do another one. It's been long enough, right?
Yeah.
It'll let you do another review?
I think so.
Really?
I don't even know.
Do people even? So
Or just send us an email.
what do the analytics look like? Have we looked at like number of listeners on YouTube or on the MP3s?
YouTube's crap. We got nothing on YouTube. I don't look at anything else. I don't even look. I don't really care. I don't have enough. I don't put much into this. Clearly, we get together, we talk. It doesn't really matter.
And we have fun talking, and we just hope that there might be others that benefit from listening to our conversation.
It's just nice when we go to a race and somebody says, "Hey, I like y'all's podcast," even if they haven't listened to it.
I've got a couple people that we need to interview if they're willing to come out with COVID going on.
Yeah, I got to contact. You need to. I never want to do that because we never know for sure if we're going to have something come up and actually do the podcast, and so it's hard to schedule. I've been wanting to get Derek Baker to come out here, and every week I want to reach out to him, and then I don't know if we're going to be able to do it schedule. So it's hard.
I was at an event when I was in Oklahoma City, and one of the guys, it was like our CFO or something, was playing we were at a pickleball place, and he was playing, and he tore his Achilles.
Oh.
And so he fell, and it was a big thing, and he had to go away, and they took him to the hospital or whatever. And then I was standing with a group of people, and someone realized nobody knows me in this thing. And somebody goes, "Vaughn, you do some fitness stuff. Have you ever done something where you had to call your wife and you were injured?"
Let me tell you a story.
Sit down.
I was like,
pull up a chair.
I literally do I want to tell this story, or do I just say no? You know what? I never have done that, but for whatever reason, I was just like, I'll tell you a story. And so
let me tell you a story.
I tried to tell a story, but then I was like, then later on in the evening, I was like, I don't think I told that story very well. So I sent a link to the podcast because I was in my hotel by myself, and I was like, I went back and started watching that episode where I talked about going to Canada, and I was like, man, what a story. And so I sent that to the people I was talking to in Slack. I was like, if you really want to, yes, I have a podcast, number one. Number two,
I'm that guy.
Here, I don't think I told that story very well, but if you get bored and want to listen to an hour of me talk about that, you can do it here. And then I was like, 300 people watched that YouTube video.
On YouTube?
Yeah.
We never get that many YouTube videos.
Really?
I mean,
yeah,
sometimes.
I guess so. It's like 9.
That's a lot for YouTube.
It's funny. You were wearing sunglasses on Sunday, and Katie was talking about getting new Ray-Bans, and she's like, "Oh, I liked what Vaughn was wearing on Sunday."
She should get those. I love those.
And she's like, "I don't know what style they were. I think they were Ray-Bans. I'm not sure." And I was like, "Well, he posted a picture of himself after the race, so pull up the picture and just look at it and see what he's wearing." And so she goes to Facebook and she types in his name, and she's like, "Am I going to Vaughn the friend or Vaughn the personalities page?" Because apparently there's a Vaughn Rawls public figure page.
I thought I deleted it. It was supposed to be gone, but
he's kind of a big deal, folks.
I saw where you managed to finish 91st out of 87. Congratulations.
That was a feat.
On that. So that was your way of knocking me off my DFL pedestal and saying, hold my beer.
Yeah, exactly.
You think you can do bad?
It's like you thought you could.
That's
suck.
Basically what they were telling me is you're so bad that we're pretty sure at least 10 other people are going to finish the race after you did and beat you.
Yeah. We really don't have memory in our spreadsheet to put you in there.
I don't know. It must be because I pulled it up during the race, because when I pulled it up afterwards, it was right, and it was. I think ultimately I finished like 87th out of 96 or something like that. But
I assumed it was likely subtracting the people who placed out of those participants.
But that would be like 10 people in my age group that placed and got moved up, and that seems unlikely.
Okay, well, fine. Shoot me down. I just thought I was on to say.
Well, let me tell you.
I don't know the reason, is the short answer.
Our age group
is fast.
It's fast.
Insane.
Yeah,
35 to 39 men in Memphis is still the fastest age group. 40 to 44 is the second fastest, and 45 to 49 is the third fastest in all.
So I ran that
Memphis.
5-mile race at 8:26 pace.
Flying.
Yeah, you flew that thing.
Adrian Hall got third place, and he ran like a 6:15.
Jeez. Oh my god.
Are you kidding me?
pace.
And he
No,
went out and did extra
6:20
miles after the
something?
race. I
I didn't
drove
see
by.
that, but like, who were I don't even remember the top two and how fast they were, but it's like, are you serious?
Has it always been that historically? Have those age
I
groups
feel
always
like
been
I
that
feel like
fast,
it
or
has
is that a generational thing where running has caught on and fitness has?
I
I don't know.
know.
My assumption when I was 35 to 39 in that age group was that these are like people that were athletes in college, decided to give it up after college, and then 10 years goes by and they're like, you know what, I'm going to get fit again. And so, like, I truly believe in like that whole like muscle memory type thing. Not necessarily that they were runners in college, but the fact that they were athletes in college, like their body just comes back to it a lot faster than other people. And so they may never run in college, but because they played basketball, all of a sudden they're running fucking 6-minute miles or something like that, during races.
Crazy.
That was always my assumption, but I have no basis for that.
Crazy. I took off on like the first mile, and it was like I was just running along. And I looked at my watch; it was like a 7:30 pace, and I was like, "Oh,
Slow down.
you better slow down."
Yeah.
Yeah, because the first 2.5 miles of that race,
Yeah, when I realized that the first hill I hit, I was like, "Oh, this is terrible." And then like the first 2.5 miles were like up and down, and the ups like toasted me. The last 2 miles, I was like, ugh.
Now, for the most part, during a race like that, what do you feel like cardio-wise? I mean, do you feel like you're on the verge of tipping over, or are you pretty comfortable?
No, I'm comfortable.
So, are you good from COVID? You feel like
I think so.
you
Yeah.
finally
Yeah,
got back your.
I think so.
Lung capacity.
8:30 pace for
I'm just
5
asking. I
miles.
didn't know if he was like
I think
dying
I
at the
feel-
end and
I feel
inhaler.
good.
and-
You know, I was having chest pains for a long time.
Yeah.
And I have no pain anymore, and I can breathe well. But I've been like,
It's the tan.
but
helps
it
you.
is the tan. Yeah. Go sit by the pool. Turns out to be the best training you could possibly
Yeah.
have.
Yep.
And have a cooler beer. That works better than running every day. But
I got a story to tell after you get done.
so I went for a long time. I've been running like this 9:30 to 10-minute pace every run I do. And Brian ran a 10K one like 2 weeks ago or something. And I saw it on Facebook. I was like, shit, I got to go run a 10K. Because Brian ran a 10K.
Because he's so worried about me out training him.
Yeah.
And so I was like,
It's not a thing.
That's exactly what I was worried about.
I know. I saw you post. You posted exactly that. Like, I got to step up my training.
I did.
and I'm
yeah.
sure within like
Because they're
8
like
minutes
running
of that-
every day. And
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm not doing anything. So I was like, he ran a 10K. I got to go run a 10K. But when I ran that 10K, I was like, I don't feel like I'm running. Like, let's have an experiment, Run and feel like you're not 100%, but you're just trying. Like you are running, not like just comfortable. Maybe you can still talk, but maybe you're just a little bit uncomfortable. And I ran a 10K, and it was like an 8:37 pace or something. And I was like, okay, I can do this. And so when I went to that 5-mile run, you asked me, what do you think you're going to run? And I was like, well, I ran a 10K the other day at like an 8:34 or something. And so I'm going to do the same thing today. I'm going to be like, I'm going to try to stay not super uncomfortable, but a little bit uncomfortable the whole time. Right? Just like I feel like I'm trying hard.
Yeah.
But not trying too hard.
Right.
And that's what I did. And it was like the first one was like 8:15. It was like 8:20. And then it was like 8:30. And then after those hills, I was like, 8:40. But I was still, I still kind of felt it wouldn't kill me, but I could recognize that I was feeling bad. So I would slow down a little bit, and just make sure I could breathe the whole time.
Tell me this: if your options were to run, if you're trying to prepare for a 10K, if your options are to run 2 miles a day at a 6:30, 7-minute pace, but you can only run 2 miles, or run 6 to 7 miles a day at a between 10 and 11 minute mile pace, what do you think is going to make you a better 10K runner?
I think running the 2 at the 6:30.
I think you're right.
I think you have to push yourself to those. I think that's why the interval running helps you a lot. Like when you go run like 800s and 400s at a hard, heavy pace and rest in between those.
Well, yeah.
Test.
That's like CrossFit. You know,
Yeah.
it's like the high intensity
You know,
interval training.
I really think that's what makes you faster. I believe in that.
Yeah, because when you're miserable running 2 miles at a 6:30 pace, then slowing down to an 8 or an 8:30 pace, it's like, oh, I'm just out for a jog.
And I'm
Yeah.
still 100% a believer in the CrossFit. Like if CrossFit is still a thing, I mean, I'm pretty sure it is, but like the intensity of it every single day pushes you harder than going out and running long, slow distance. And I feel like if you push yourself regularly to limits where you're like, oh, like I've been back, I go back to the gym and I'm like, this is terrible. Like I'm like exhausted and sweating and I feel awful. You know, I do not push myself that much in just a regular get up and run day or regular I'm going to work out in my garage or at the Globo gym by myself. Like, and if I go to the CrossFit gym, I'm going to be spent. I'm giving you everything I've got.
Whether that
in
workout's
that
a
hour.
40-minute workout or whether it's a 10-minute
It could be
workout, you're going to be spent.
It could be a 4-minute workout. But I 100% believe that pushing yourself to that high of a level when you go and run a marathon or you go and run whatever race, you're just cruising, man. You know, that level of cruising can go up, you know,
Yeah, 'cause
depending on what running training you're doing, you know.
If you think about the high intensity interval training, especially in some of the longer workouts, you're having to learn to breathe at that high intensity level, and so when you're running a longer race, and the intensity is not that high, the breathing's a lot easier, right? So like you've trained your body to do that, and I think that's why. I mean, Vaughn's a perfect example. You know, rewind back to 2010 or whenever it was that. You know, all you'd done is like run a 5K, and then all of a sudden you're out running marathons at a 10-minute mile pace, and CrossFit got you there.
Yeah,
Not
I
training for the
ran
running.
a freaking marathon in an 8:32 pace. So, and all it was CrossFit and running, you know, CrossFit and add in running, you know, but we'll talk about Saturday or Sunday's 5-mile race. It's like, okay, I got 40 minutes. What level of suffering can I handle for 40 minutes? I already know, you know?
It's funny. Me at my 12:30 pace, I remember looking down at my watch and seeing I was like 42 minutes into the race, and I was like, Vaughn's already done.
But
It's like,
the
son of a
crazy
bitch,
thing is,
Vaughn's
like,
already done.
there's like somebody that finished in 30 minutes. You know,
And didn't
like,
take first.
what? And didn't take first.
Right.
Like, what the hell, man? But I'm stronger than that guy, so I don't know. That's always going to be my go-to.
I saw Dean and Carrie Jensen last week.
Yeah.
They're leaving the Memphis area to become nomads for a while. Fucking Dean, like, I think I'm doing dopey again in January.
Not if COVID has anything to do with
I
it.
think he and I are going to sign up for it. Well, I checked all of, because Disney is the kind of company that could potentially be sneaky and be like, oh, if we decide to go virtual, then you still have to run it. We're not going to give you a refund.
Yeah.
And it specifically states, like, if there's like government mandated shutdowns or blah blah blah, or we cancel the race, then we will refund your money.
There you go.
And that's the only, because I'm not doing it virtual. I will.
Yeah,
not do it
I
virtual.
would not do that race virtual
Heck
either.
no way.
I wouldn't pay their money to do that.
Well, no,
No.
I mean, the only reason you're paying the money is
It's to
because
be
you
in the
get to go
park
there
and
and do
yeah,
it.
yeah, because you get the experience with all the.
Yeah.
So pretty sure I'm going back in
Characters.
January. But the reason why, apparently the last time he ran dopey, he ran like a total of like 40 miles in the 6 months leading up to it. And the joke between he and Carrie is that he started taking vitamins like a week before the race, and that's what allowed him to do dopey and finish it.
Yeah, he can run.
Vitamins,
He's got
quote,
a
unquote.
he's got a soccer background. He
Yeah.
can
He can run forever.
he can run
Yeah.
for sure.
She's apparently getting pretty fit
Yeah.
these days.
Yeah, she's doing good. She's got her running coach, and she's almost there. She can pass the test that she has to pass, but she wants to do better than just the
Yeah.
minimum.
Yeah,
So
just
she's
pass
working
it.
on it. Yeah.
Anyways, exciting stuff for them. And
Yeah, I talked to Carrie the other day. I saw her at the gym, and I told her that I probably couldn't do dopey because I don't have the time to put into it right now with school. But
yeah.
I would like to do all the other races that Disney offers over the next couple years. And she said definitely we'll keep that loop running so we can find some races to do. So
And I'm game
day.
for going more than once a year, but I think I'm pretty much going to start. COVID messed me up last year I didn't do the January race because Dawn wanted to run on her race weekend,
Oh, yeah, that's
on
right.
her birthday
Yeah. weekend.
And so deferred to that, and then COVID hit, so we didn't run at all. But but now I want to get back on track to running at least one race. And I was only going to run. I was going to go just run the half marathon, and it'll be fine. And Dane's like, well, if you're going to run the half, why not run?
Yeah, if I'm going to run one race, I may as well run them all.
Yeah.
May as well do the dopey. Because the whole thing is because we go to Disney World so much as a family.
Well, see, this is like
if
my
I-
one trip to go.
Yeah,
and
if I got to tell my family, okay, we got to go to Disney World, but it's for a race. That's a whole separate thing from, okay, we're going to Disney World as vacation, And so, if I'm going to do one, I may as well just go all the way in. I think
I get it.
because the whole family's. I can't go by myself without my family. They'd be like, "The hell's wrong with you? Like, you can't go to Disney World without us."
I know quite a few people that go without their family, without their spouses, anything. Like they go for that race weekend and they spend 5 or 6 days there with friends, and
Yeah, it's just
that's weird to me.
It's not gonna. Yeah, it's not gonna happen.
Well, yeah, I guess you did do that. I'm sorry.
I did that. Thanks. I'm a weirdo.
But I mean, going to Disney World for my family is the biggest thing we do all the time.
But is Disney World
it's
interesting to you?
No.
Okay.
But it's our thing.
I guess that's the difference. I mean, is because it's the people I'm talking
yeah.
about. It's like Vaughn's
It's
family
the
where they
everything
like
that
to
they
go.
do, yeah.
And
It was a nice experience to go, but if I ran those races again, I don't think I'd pay money to actually go back to the park. I'd go to Universal.
Shocker.
Right. Big surprise.
No, but really, I mean, there's adult rides there, not just Harry Potter, but that's really
Right.
what I've been going for.
Right.
But yeah,
I mean,
you
Murphy,
opened my eyes when you took us on the Hulk. The
Right.
roller
That
coaster.
was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Murphy would be like, "Dad's in Disney World? I don't understand.
How's Dad at Disney World?
What's happening right
What
now?
did we do wrong? Doesn't he love us
He doesn't love me.
There was a side of me that was that's a lot of money. If I'm gonna put forth that kind of money, it seems like there would be Disney would be a family thing. But then I have kids that don't want to go to Disney World any more than I want to go to Disney World. So it's nice just to not go to Disney World.
And
I
that's
don't
okay.
really want to do anything.
That's okay.
I know that.
I
just
grew
wanna- I just
grew
wanna
up
make
going
that
to theme
statement.
parks, and so I love theme parks. My dad was in the Navy, and we always lived stateside. But whenever we moved from one city to another, they would turn it into a 2-week vacation, driving from one place to the next, and we would stop at theme parks along the way, and spend a day at 2 or 3 different theme parks along the way, and it was just always a lot of fun. So.
I grew up just going to Disney World, so that's why
I can
know,
ride one ride and feel like I'm going to vomit for the rest of the day, or I can ride 2 and vomit for the rest of the day. So I don't have anything really that I can do. I get on kids' rides.
One of my neighbors can't ride roller coasters. He's got something where he gets seasick
thing.
or something.
inner ear
where
deal.
And he's like, I cannot ride roller coasters. And so his youngest, they went somewhere. I can't remember where it was, but Six Flags or something. And his youngest got on the roller coaster with all the rest of his family, and he's like, "Great, now I'm the guy that's holding all the purses and all the bags while everyone rides the roller coasters." Like everyone's riding roller coasters, and I'm just standing here with 6 purses in my hand.
Like the old lady is too old to ride them because of her heart condition.
Yeah.
I got on one of those rides that's basically like preschool chairs on a chain, where all you do is just go around for kids. It's made like just to keep the kids occupied, and you get to like pet a goat on the way out. And I almost threw up doing that. I mean, I can't do anything without getting sick.
Ugh, that sucks.
I hate it. I think they're canceling Tour de Spirit.
No, please don't say that.
Oh, really?
That's what I heard, and not even due to COVID.
Just not enough
Just
fundraising?
not doing it.
That's weird.
They never charged
Man, I
a
was
lot of
looking
money for
forward to
that.
that.
They could have charged 3 times what they charged.
Yeah.
I feel like
Yeah.
Yeah.
maybe I should have donated
Maybe
3
we
times
should have.
more. I mean, if that's seeing as how it is for a
Could have
charity.
done more.
Well, I just
So
wonder,
really, it's y'all's fault as much as it is mine.
isn't there? I think the political situation's changed in Haiti,
Is that it?
which is who that race. I think it's the Memphis Medical Missions of Haiti or something like that.
It is that.
And I have no idea. I'm just guessing as to what non-COVID related reasons they would cancel that. I don't know if the clinic is not doing as well because of the change in political structure there or what, but it's just a guess.
I haven't been up on my Haitian politics as of late,
Yeah.
but I'll be sure to get on that as it pertains to my 24-hour
Isn't that where the
once.
president was assassinated or something like that, like in the last 6 weeks?
No idea.
I don't either. Don't know that. But I mean, it wasn't a
didn't know.
lot. There wasn't a lot going on there.
No.
Like, it wasn't like it was like an expensive event. Was it?
No. And it should have been more expensive. I mean, renting a spot, I think, was like maybe 30
No, what I
bucks.
mean was to put that thing on wasn't that expensive. It couldn't have been.
No, I
I
don't
mean,
think
they had the lights out there overnight.
Lights,
And a lot of that stuff's
generator,
donated.
You know.
people cooking. You know,
FedEx
the
donated a lot of
meals.
that, right?
Yeah.
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 But
I'm sure it's a hassle.
Yeah. I don't
Well, yeah,
think
I mean,
that's
they
why
had
they
set it
wouldn't
up,
run
but-
I
the
mean, I
race.
could definitely see the guy, whoever the race director is, like, I don't want to do this anymore. Anybody else want to do it? Nope. Okay, we'll cancel it.
Yeah,
You know,
Yeah, that's
like,
true.
right.
yeah, yeah, we had fun there, but somebody else was putting it on.
I can totally get that.
You know, I want to poke him and say, we should do a 24-hour
That's
lifting and
exactly.
running.
I was going to say we've taken a little crack
walking
at
that
the event. It's easy to see how that goes.
But what I mean, it seems like an easier event, you know. We brought Sean Hilston out there with some weights, and he deadlifted 400 pounds and ran. However
Ran
long.
his 50 miles.
50 miles.
I mean, it was low
I
maintenance. Very
love-
low maintenance.
I loved that event, man. I really loved that event.
Yeah, I mean, and if you talk about like what you were trying to do with the other thing, with the lifting and running thing, compared to that, like the two things are, the 24-hour run thing is super easy.
Do you think the Swift and Swole would be significantly harder? I do.
I do. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
but I also
Like,
think any event is hard.
but just a 24-hour race on 1 mile loop, and you got spots. If you want a tent, put a tent out there. That's low
Yeah,
amount of
low maintenance.
You're
People
right.
take care of
The
themselves.
on your property,
the
on your
logistics
church.
are low.
Yeah. Yeah.
With the bench press and the squat and all that, and then the running and then the score keeping and all that.
Yeah,
You
you got church volunteers. It's their church. It's their fundraiser.
Yeah.
They can help. Yep, you're right.
you could probably take that event over.
No, I don't want. I'm never
If you
planning
wanted
anything ever again. ever. It's planning, accepting a role of any kind that isn't like a salary position is not something I want to do.
Speaking of salary position, why are you looking for a job? What's the story? Is there a story to tell behind that?
Because I would rather do that than sling fertilizer.
No, I thought you already had a job. I thought you already had jobs.
I do. I got a lot. I have a few, but one of them is nights. One of them doesn't pay me anything.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize that.
Astrian is a startup where I have a small amount of equity in that, which hopefully they'll be paying in a few months from now. But you know how that goes. You know, there's no
do.
guarantee there.
Yeah.
The other one is not a developer role. It's, you know, assisting students with their code.
Oh, okay.
But it's not
Gotcha.
a developer per se.
Okay.
And it's nights and weekends. And so what I'd like to do is get rid of the chemical part, the weed control part of my business, and not have to be bogged down by that 3 days a week, 3 weeks in a row, and be able to just, you know, have the 7 to 5 or 8 to 5, 9 to 5.
So what's
Get you 2 or 3 different remote programming jobs, and you know, just schedule your Zoom calls accordingly.
Yeah, right.
Like,
But I know I want out of the me being in a truck, an expensive truck that breaks down and costs money, and going out
Get
and
that.
slinging fertilizer while also trying to work on a laptop.
what's the ideal job that you want?
Just working in the MERN stack, you know, whether it be software development, web
interesting.
development.
Very, very interesting.
Wow, you got one?
No, I was just curious
Yeah,
what you
that's-
wanted.
That's what I
Like,
want.
I mean,
I want the one that I botched.
that seems very general. Do you have to? Can you focus in a little bit? Like, what's more than that?
What's more general? I don't know.
More focused.
Like as
Yeah.
as into what industry?
Yeah, or or just like think of your ideal job would be working on.
I would
X,
also
Y, and Z.
think, man, you've got the personality for it to be a dev evangelist. Like you're already doing like the helping people understand code, so it's like going and finding some framework. Like there's a lot of businesses that hire evangelists to like go around to users groups and just show other people how to use that framework or how to use their software and how to do custom development for their software and stuff like that. Like Microsoft has developer evangelists.
You probably have to not fart on the coding exam and be able to show that you know the code. that
I
you're
don't know,
talking
man.
about.
I'm still not 100% sure that you messed that up entirely. And I don't even think it's a problem if you did, because I don't know.
Well,
Brian
that's
might
encouraging.
think differently,
I
but,
feel
like,
feel like
I
it was a
don't-
pretty strong whiff, but we'll see.
Yeah, I mean,
Well, if anything, like Amanda said, you've got more experience at interviewing, and hopefully you do better the next time.
and you do get better at it. You know,
there's
you do
something
like
that comes out of it, even if this one didn't work out.
I agree.
Like
It'll
I
happen.
had,
There's no question about it. It will happen. I'm not. I know that, but I'm still like, I don't know that I've been this angry, emotional, frustrated, disappointed, like all at the same time. It's been a bit.
I like this confident developer Wilson that I'm seeing, as opposed to, what was it, 2 years ago?
Yeah, I don't
Like,
think if somebody
Hey,
would just
guys, I
hire
think-
me, it'd be great, or whatever.
Hey
you know,
guys, I
like-
think I'm going to learn to code. You've come a long way.
I
It's a good thing.
put in a lot of work.
Yeah.
You definitely have. You 100% have.
But
That's
I
awesome.
want to say, like, when I lost my job and started interviewing, like, the first couple were terrible. It was awful. Like, I had to go through, like, a process of, like, I cannot do a coding job. I can't do it. There's no way that I will pass. I would talk to these recruiters, and they'd be like, well, what's your solve this programming problem? I don't even know,
You're right.
you know, and I'm not gonna know. And so then I started thinking, like, well, what is it that I do know? Like, what am I really looking for here? You know, like, I got frustrated by a couple interviews, then I started going, okay, what is it that I do well? You know, what are the things? And then I started searching for certain things. And then I had an interview at St. Jude for a job that I was like, oh, yes. I was talking to a recruiter about all this, and he found this perfect job. And I had that interview, and I think I whiffed it. Like, I was like,
Yeah.
you know, but and I was like right there, but I was just short of answering this guy's questions, and I was like, dude, I know what you're talking about, but I can't give you the answer.
Right.
Like, in my head, and I literally told him, in my head, I know exactly what you're saying, but I don't know the answer.
Yeah.
And and the guy said, well, you were a really strong interview and blah blah. I was like, no, I'm not getting that job, even though he kept saying you probably would. And I was like, okay. I had another one after that. It was the same, and now by this time I'm like, I know what I'm looking for. This is the type of job. The second interview I did even better because like I knew what I messed up on this one because I was able to go, yeah, now I know. So that interview went even better, right? Didn't get the second one. The third one, I was like, I want this damn job. Like, I don't even care. This is the job that I want, and I will answer every single question that you have, And it went so well that it took 3 interviews, 3 days, and I got the job because that process went so much better because I had been through that process. So I think, don't beat yourself up. It's a learning experience. And now even better.
I hope so. Blah, blah, blah. All right.
But also go dog them on Twitter or something. Like go on Glassdoor and make a review of your interview questions and be like, oh, this guy sucks.
Yeah.
Anyway.
How much time do we have? I think we still have some time.
Fitness podcast.
It's 8.
We took the kids back to school today. They haven't been in school. They've been virtual.
Yep.
Taking kids to school is a pain in the ass. Like, I've become so accustomed. I've taken for granted that I haven't had to do that. And so now my schedule, when I think about, like, the things I have to do during the day combined with what I already have to do during the day, it's a little bit overwhelming.
Did you pick them up?
I got them.
Okay.
But, I mean, it crossed my mind. It was kind of like a panic. Like, Andy called. I was like, what are we doing as far as, like, you picking us up? I was like, I'm glad you called because I haven't really thought that through. But, I'm going to be – Grace is going to have to be at I'm at work from 4:30 in the afternoon till midnight. And when I'm doing Gardener Shadow, I'm doing that from 7 to 3. Got to find a way to get there and get Grace into practice and get home. That's just a lot of stuff that I didn't have to worry about before. And it's not worth worrying about, but it is a luxury not to have them.
You work 4:30 to midnight every day?
No, twice. I work twice a week, 4:30 to midnight, and 3 to 10.
And that's a volunteer gig?
No, that's not
okay.
volunteer.
Okay.
That's a paid gig. And when I'm doing the Gardener Shadow, I've got to do Gardener Shadow from 7 until that time. Yeah. Which is like 3 weeks on, 3 weeks off.
I saw another parent post today that, like, they did the math, and it's been over 500 days since most kids have been physically in school. It's just, like, crazy, like, that it's been so long.
I saw a guy standing out there protesting masks by himself this morning.
Well, mine have been, I guess we ended the last school year in school pretty much full on, but not full on. Murphy was wearing a mask at her public school. Jackson goes to a private school in Mississippi, so they're
Can't get COVID there.
You don't get COVID there, and Donald Trump is the savior. But now we're back, and now we're back unrestricted whatsoever. So
Not even requiring masks, or
Jackson's school, public school, no. Jackson's school, if you're not vaccinated, you have to wear one, right? I think. But if you're vaccinated, no, that's not true. If you're vaccinated and you come in contact with somebody that has the thing, you get quarantined for 2 weeks. So I don't think masks are required. But if you come in contact with someone who is positive, you get quarantined.
Well, along with COVID came murder hornets. Was about the same time.
I remember
right?
murder hornets. Yeah,
I found a wasp in our house that was as big as a gopher.
Was it a cicada?
No, it was not. It was a wasp that was black, and do wasps typically have 4 wings, 2 pairs?
I think that's a dragonfly.
This thing, it was not a dragonfly. It was
exactly
not. It was the size of a dragonfly.
Oh my God!
It was not a cicada or a cicada. It wasn't a dragonfly. It was a wasp, and it was enormous. It was It was huge.
This feels like a couple's retreat moment where Wilson's saying, "I know my truth. I know my
It
truth.
was
I know my truth."
it was hovering. It was like getting eye level with me. And Andy heard me go,
Did it scare
"Whoa."
you?
Yes, it scared me. I mean, it sounded like a drone.
The larger the bug, the scarier they are, and the more wings they have to scare. Like, we had a roach in the house. Like, Jackson saw this roach in the house that had wings, and it was like,
Did it have a horn like a rhino
It
beetle?
was like, no, I don't think it had horns, but it was like, it's like the size of like a playing card, you know, and like as big as my phone with wings, roach flying, and I'm like, ah, and he's like, kill it, and I'm like, no, I don't know.
The size of a playing card.
Like, I don't know. It's the only first thing that popped in my head. But, it's just, it's all it is. It's not going to hurt you,
I think this murder hornet was gonna.
It was a murder.
It had
Have you
intentions of it.
Googled murder hornets to see if that was what it looks like?
No, just the name Murder Hornet matched the description of what I was looking at. What was looking me in the eye, directly in the eye. Like I could see its pupils focused in on me. They changed size. Like as if to say, now I've got my target. You had to have been there. I know you don't believe me, but it was wild. It had lasers. Y'all watch Ted Lasso?
No.
Oh my God, you're like the 42nd person to mention that I need to be watching.
It's so
this.
good. That and Outer Banks. You got to start watching.
I started
Outer
watching
Banks.
Hey,
Somebody
listen,
else-
I started watching Outer Banks.
You like
Somebody
it?
just mentioned that to me.
It's
too.
another one of those shows. It's kind of like a guilty pleasure.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm too old to be watching this show. And
You probably are.
the reason that I started watching it because I saw Jackson was watching it. I walked in his room and it was paused and he was gone, and it was paused on Outer Banks on Netflix. And I was like, I guess I'll start watching that, see what he's watching. And it is definitely kind of a younger person's show, I think.
More hip, like croc
Yeah.
wears.
Yeah,
God.
croc wears and
just
whatever.
like that, Wilson. Just
Yeah.
like that.
So anyway, I started watching it now.
Yeah.
I'm almost through with the second season, and but I do feel a little bit like I'm too old to be watching this show.
Who's the actor in Ted Lasso?
I don't know his
the
name.
main character. I like him.
He's great. He makes you want to be
He
a
was
better
on Saturday
person.
Night Live. He's a Saturday Night Live guy, wasn't he?
The Great Black
He was.
Wasp. Thank you, Amanda.
Wasn't he?
Is what this is. It's the Sphex pennsylvanus.
Wow.
Bless you.
Yes.
Sounds scary.
Uh,
Gesundheit.
Sphecidae. So almost like cicada, if you have a lisp.
Cicada.
In the order Hymenoptera. The great black wasp is a strikingly large black wasp with smoky black wings that shine with blue iridescence. It is a type of digger wasp, and most people see it busily eating nectar and pollen from flowers in the summertime.
Where do they go to get the lasers
I
installed?
pinched this thing. It said it's iridescent
You pinched it.
Paint.
with the swatter. I got Amanda's a leather fly swatter with her initials on it.
Oh,
I
no,
thought
so-
she would
that
like
sounds
it, but
kinky.
she didn't think it was as cool as I
I was
did.
like,
Well, I'll tell you what. If you'd have had a bug assault gun,
Yeah, tell me.
you would have killed
Okay,
that
all
bastard
right. We
quick.
saw one of those, and we inquired about them, but they said you could only shoot it outside, which I guess you're outside all the time. With,
That's a negative. We shoot it indoors.
Okay, and you just get salt. It does.
No, it's such a small amount of salt that you don't even notice it.
So
don't
you can
even
like
notice.
salt your chips from across the room.
I guess you probably could. If you
I'd be
wanted to.
shotgunning. I'd be blowing
I mean,
my
my
own brains
chip-
out. They'd be like, "What's
Yeah,
this?"
my chips would need a couple pumps. But my wife Holly works for our fearless lawyer Scott Hollis,
Uh huh.
and they bought bug assault guns for everybody on staff because his wife Natasha hates flies or something. And so she brought that, but I've already asked. I was like, Holly, we got to buy one of these. I already knew about it, so she came home with it. I was like, what? We
Is
got
it
one of these?
CO2 loaded? Is
No. It's got a little thing you flip up. You pour table salt in it, close it down, cock the shotgun.
like an air pump type thing.
Yeah, cock the shotgun. Boom.
it one shot per salting?
No. It'll take 80 shots. It'll fill it up. It'll shoot 80 shots.
Right, but one pump
But one
per.
pump each bug.
One pump per fly.
So if you pump it up too many times,
And
you're gonna
somebody said, I was talking to somebody, they said, oh, you're just shooting air out of them and blowing them away. No, they are dying. Like, we'll hunt up on them, pow. And they like go, pooh, and they'll fall down on the ground. And like
Really?
those little flies. It is amazing.
So
And
it
you can
must be
shoot it
using
in
the
your
s-
house.
yeah.
It must be using the salt like shotgun
Pellets.
pellets.
Like
yeah,
a
just
sandblaster.
That's exactly
Yeah,
what it's doing.
sandblaster,
Yeah, and it's
yeah.
hitting the fly and killing them dead.
If I shot you in the face from here, would you be like, oh,
I don't know, but Jackson and I, of course, we already went down this path.
yeah.
It's like, hold your hand up.
And so he goes, what do you think it feels like? And I was like, I don't know. You want me to shoot you? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, okay, I'll shoot you. So
Son, hold still.
I was like, I'll shoot you in your calf so it doesn't hurt so bad, you know? He was like, okay. And I cocked it and shot him. He goes, He goes, feels kind of like a paintball.
really that intense? The paintballs are intense.
Yeah, I would have
man.
shot like an apple or something first.
But I was pretty close to him. But yeah, I mean, it's a thing. I mean, it is
gonna have to
so
get one
much
of
fun.
these.
Like I went outside. We killed all the flies inside, and we like went outside. Like, where you at? Wow. Jackson saw a spider in the kitchen earlier today, and he goes, "Look, a spider! Where's the gun?" Pow.
How
Shot
close
the-
could I kill a fly from me to you? You think?
No, yeah, I think it's like 2 feet.
Okay.
Inside 2 feet, I think is what you want to be.
Yeah.
So
you
you're
know-
not shooting them out of the air. They need to be landed so you can.
People say they're shooting them out of the air. They make laser scopes for these things. So there's a laser scope you can get for like $20 to put on top of it.
Of course there is.
And,
That's a little too much dedication just to kill a fly.
I don't know. I think it's awesome. Like
Wilson, we need to work on the Tim the Toolman version that's got like the CO2 cartridge on
Yeah.
it. And
when I killed my first fly, I was hooked. I
Really?
was like, I got to do this more. I might need another one of these guns.
Yeah.
It is the coolest thing I've seen in a long time.
You should have like a thing of the month. Like you've got your magnet fishing and you have your
Bug
bug
Vaughn's
assault.
recommendation
You
of the
should
month.
just start like a redneck,
Redneck,
Vaughn's
Bond's
toy.
value of the month.
Vaughn's value.
redneck toy of the month.
Yeah.
I can make a box.
We're gonna have to come up with a more redneck name than Vaughn, though.
Yeah, that's
nobody's
not
nobody's
gonna
gonna believe that.
Well,
You've got,
we'll
like,
just say
legit.
the Reverend.
Yeah.
The Reverend's
redneck toy of the month.
Reverend's redneck toys. Sign up now.
I'm registering it now. ReverendsRedneckToys.com. Shit, it's already taken.
All right, it's time to go. But I do have to mention, maybe I should save it until next time. Yeah, we'll save it till next time.
Okay.
Good talk.
Anything else?
Good talk.
I got to go process this thing and upload it, which now takes like 45 seconds because of fiber.
Because you have C-Spire fiber.
and not C-Spire,
Darn it.
North Central.
They have gigabit fiber?
Yeah, our electric company.
Really?
Yep,
Yeah,
they put
man.
it in.
Wow.
It's bad.
That's weird because the electric company at the river is putting in fiber.
Really?
Yeah, I'm on that list right now.
So you're going to be river ratting.
You'll
faux
never
show.
see me again.
Yeah. I mean, that's pretty cool. You can
can work from
essentially live there, right?
I could if I had fiber internet. Yeah.
And would you?
I wouldn't live there, obviously.
Well, you mean obviously. Why not?
I definitely
But
would.
because I have a family and kids, I have to take.
They
to
can go with
school.
you.
Yeah.
But I could go there and work, and yeah,
You could. I mean, your
spend-
kids could even homeschool with that much speed of internet.
They could, but they don't want to do that.
You'd be a great homeschool teacher, Vaughn.
I would. I would be a good teacher. I'd be.
Yeah.
You know, y'all don't have to do anything today, so recess.
Let's go do CrossFit.
Y'all can read, right? Okay, good. We're good.
Lift Heavy Run Long number 2011.
2011. That's not 2011.